to be quite an interesting video. Today I am going to be hopefully trying and reviewing Nixit. If you've been watching my content recently, you will know that I recently tried tampons for probably the first time. I had quite a bad experience with one when I was like 14, 15, and I hadn't used one since. I'm 35 now and I have only just started using tampons. I'm still getting used to them. It's been a bit of an experiment, but so many people have recommended period discs or period cups, and I really wanted to give them a go. I did try a moon cup, I want to say about 6 years ago, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it ended up with blood on the ceiling. Like, there was blood all over my bathroom. I probably should have tried practicing putting it in when I wasn't on my period, just so I could get used to like inserting it. I found the moon cup very difficult to like fold, and so I haven't tried it since. That put me off for life as well. But I kept getting served adverts on Instagram for a brand called Nixit, and so I thought I'd try it. It's a disc style menstrual cup. I hope this is going to work better for me because it seems a lot easier to insert. So it looks like this. To insert it, instead of like having to like fold it all up like a moon cup, you just pinch. So it's kind of this shape. I am still, I'm not gonna lie, a bit anxious about not only putting this in but getting it out. Like, I feel like it's more the fear of getting it out that scares me, but I really want to try this, not only because I think it would be life-changing when I'm on my period, not having to wear pads all the time, and like being able to move and do activities and not let my period kind of affect my daily life, but also because I feel like it would be a helpful video to be up on the internet. I haven't seen many videos like this, like very honest, raw, real reviews. So yeah, we're going to be trying this today. I am on day 3 of a very, very, very heavy period. I bled for about 2 weeks a couple of weeks ago, and I'm having another really heavy period. I've got like low iron because of how heavy they've been recently. So I'm not sure if this is a great time to be practicing, but we're gonna do it. I have my husband on hand to help me get it out if I can't. There are lots of really helpful videos on Nixit's Instagram and website about how to insert and remove. But yeah, it comes like this. I chose a blue box, comes with a little bag to keep it in when you're not using it. Also have the menstrual cup cleanser and vaginal wash, so you can like wash the disc and yourself with this externally, not internally. That's really bad for you. Looks like this. And also picked up some Nixit menstrual cup wipes, individually wrapped. This is basically amazing for if you're on the move. This is something that actually is always confused me a little bit. When you're out and about and you need to change your moon cup, how do you do it? Because you can't go and wash it in a public sink unless you've got like a toilet with a sink in it. So yeah, these are made for that, so you can like clean the Nixit when you're out and about. Don't flush it, but I feel like you can just easily pop one of those in your handbag for when you're on the go and it needs changing. So let's have a look at the instructions. Apparently it's going to take a few cycles to get used to my Nixit. I need to be really relaxed. I need to boil it for 5 minutes, wash it, squeeze it, and insert. Tippy toes, glide back and down towards the tailbone as far as it will go. And then you need, I think the important thing is you need to like tuck it up so it like stops any blood coming out. Your index finger, and then removing just is petrifying. And a couple more things that I really like about Nixit. You can wear it up to 12 hours, which is amazing. And then this is actually really helpful. It's got a couple of tips and tricks here which will definitely come in handy about getting it in. So here is a closer look. I really like how like thin and pliable this material is, and how it seems very easy to pinch. I'm just boiling some water because I need to disinfect her for 5 minutes before I use. Here she is. Okay, she's clean. I'm about to wash my hands again because I'm paranoid about getting germs. And what I'm going to do is put some lube on the rim. I feel like that's going to help. Now, what hand do I want to put it in with? Maybe this one. So Nixit do their own lube, but I think it's only available in America, so I'm just using a Superdrug one here. put that all around, and then I guess it's time to do it. So I think I'm going to try sitting on the toilet for this. I don't want you guys to see though. This is still a step too far, isn't it? Oh, okay. Okay, you need like 2 hands to keep it pinched. Ah! Ah! Okay, down. Ah, it feels really weird. I'm freaking out. I'm having a panic attack. Okay, now I'm clenching, so that's not working. Oh, okay. It's in. It's in. Oh, I think I've done it. I think I've done it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Oh my god, I think I've done it. I'm so happy. I couldn't even get the ring cup in. That wasn't hard at all. And, well, okay, so I'm wearing a pad because I don't know if I've put it in the wrong place, and I just want to be extra protected until I know that I am, like, got the hang of it. But I think, like, I don't think that's going to be a problem for me to remove because I can still feel it. You have to, like, tuck it up behind your pelvic bone, and I think I found mine. Like, I'm just guessing it feels like a bone in there. It's too much information. Oh my god, I'm actually so happy. On first impressions, I mean, I really don't know if I've got it in the right place. Time will tell. But from first impressions, I can't feel it. Like, with a tampon, I could feel it. And it took a lot of readjusting for a tampon to get it in the right place where I couldn't feel it. For me, I'm wondering if I've got a very low cervix, because there didn't seem like there was much space to push it. Like, I might try maybe pushing it in more, but I can't feel it. I can feel something. I can feel plastic, but I think that's in my head because that's impossible. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay, so it's 11:30. I'm gonna give it like 4 hours and see if I leak. I'll be able to tell because I've got a pad on. Oh my god, I feel like this could change my life. I was prepared for way more of a struggle than that. But we haven't got it out yet, so time will tell. Okay, I spoke too soon. I just leaked. Good thing I was wearing a pad. So I've just readjusted, and I think the problem was I hadn't pushed it back far enough. I feel like I did tuck it up. It could go way further back, so I think it was up, but it's like my cervix didn't have enough of the cup covering it. So yeah, I've pushed it back more. We'll see how this goes. It's been about 4 hours and I'm just taking it out. I just kept leaking, and oh yeah, I had to keep like trying to rearrange like 3 times to try and get it in the right place, and I still don't think I quite managed it, but I wanted to see how easy it was to get out before I go out this evening, because I was just a bit worried about that. It took me about 10 minutes and a lot of the frustration to try and remove it, but it's out. I had to have like my whole, I'm not even joking, I had to have my whole hand up my vagina to try and fish it out, but it wasn't painful. It was just like trying hard not to panic, it I think is the main point. I think crouching on the floor or like one leg up on the toilet might have been the easiest way to get it out. It's gonna take a lot of practice. I've just washed it, put it on the side, and I think I'll try it again on a lighter day, so maybe in 2 days time. But I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm gonna keep using it for a couple of cycles because I really want to get the grip of this before I recommend and properly review it for you guys. So yeah, give me some time to like properly try it out. I think I'm definitely going to try it out when I'm not on my period, but then is there any point in doing that because I don't know if I'm going to have it in the right position. But I guess in terms of like getting it in and out properly without it being quite so messy, maybe it is worth doing when I'm not bleeding quite so heavy. So yes, day 1 I think I was pretty successful. I got it in, I got it out. Wasn't in the correct spot, but I know what it feels like now. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's been about 2 months since I first tried Nixit, and I thought I'd give a little update. I've been trying it every single period I've had because I really want it to work for me. Day 3 of my current period, that's why my skin is so bad. It's like a massive hormonal breakout, you'll have to ignore that. Okay, so I tried it last month. Basically, I've had a lot of trouble with Nixit in terms of getting it in the right place. I feel like maybe my cervix is really high or at an angle or just a bit different, which is why I'm struggling so much with it. I've had like colposcopies and like examinations of my cervix before, so I don't like, I feel like they maybe would have said to me then if the placement of it was slightly off, but I know that when I have a smear test they sometimes have trouble finding Sometimes it's up very high, so maybe that is why I'm struggling so much with it. So yeah, day 3 of my period. I've mainly been trying it whilst I've been at home so that I can really get to grips with it at home and not have to worry about changing it out and about. On my last cycle, I had one day where I nailed it, or I thought I nailed it. It seemed to work, I didn't leak, it felt amazing because I couldn't feel it and I wasn't getting through loads of pads. But on reflection, when I took it out, there was lots of blood on the underneath of it rather than inside, which I think means that it wasn't in the right place, basically. I tried it on day 1 of my period this time and it was leaking. I'm wearing it now. It seems to be in the right place, but I've just gone to the toilet and now it feels like I'm leaking. It's like every time I go to the toilet with it in, not even like pushing or straining or anything, I feel like maybe it moves. So every single time I go to the toilet, I'm gonna have to like flip it up behind my pelvic bone again, which is slightly frustrating. Either that or I just haven't found the right place still, but I'm on like, yeah, the 3rd cycle now and I'm getting a little bit disheartened that I haven't nailed it. I've watched so many videos, so many reviews, so many tips and tricks and bits of advice, and everyone just seems to get it so much easier than me. So I'm wondering if it is something like maybe the size just isn't right for my body. Yeah. Saying that, I do have a great tip, which is when it worked for me, is pinching it in and then twirling around so it kind of like twirls back into the right position. It might be better for me to show you that when I've actually got it so I can show you what I do. I'm going to keep at it and I will see you very shortly. Tell you what I think. Hello from me and my very high bun. So I wanted to sit here and properly review and chat about my pros and cons of using Nixit, because I am so glad to finally tell you that I managed to use it and it went well. I used it like a few times over my last cycle and I think I've probably got to grips with it now, and I just couldn't tell you how excited and happy that makes me after pretty much, yeah, 20 years I've been having periods. No, that can't be right, can it? 35, 25, 15, yeah. After 20 years of having periods, to have discovered something that works for me so that I don't have to use so many pads, this feels wonderful. Okay, let's get straight into my pros and cons. Pros: wearing Nixit makes me feel like I'm not on my period at all. And like I said, after so many years of wearing pads and period pants and being able to physically feel that I am on my period when blood comes out of me when I'm just going about my daily business, for me not to feel that, oh my god, is game changing. My period every month, it honestly feels a little bit debilitating having physical blood gush out, but to have found something that where I physically don't feel like I'm on my period, it's been game changing. I think one of the reasons that I don't feel like I'm on my period, and this is my second pro, is that you only have to change it every 12 hours. Oh my god. So over the past few months I've also just got to grips with tampons for the first time, which I've been really enjoying getting the hang of, again because I don't feel it. But there's a lot of things about tampons that I don't like and I'm not a fan of. For example, I still have no clue what kind of tampon to wear at what time in my flow. There have been times when a super heavy's been really good for me, but then the next time I put it up it's not worked for me and it's been really uncomfortable. It feels, I don't like the feeling of a tampon. I can feel it sometimes and it just is uncomfortable. And you can't wear them for more than 8 hours. And for me, my flow is so heavy I have to change them more frequently than that. So the fact that Nixit is every 12 hours, sorry if the lighting's so bad, I might shut the blind actually. The fact that Nixit is only once every 12 hours, and that is pretty much like when I wake up and then before I go to bed, it really feels like I'm not on my period because I don't even have to think about it. I can leave it in there for 12 hours and it doesn't even occur to me that I'm on my period. What a game changer that has been. Pro number 3 is you can auto dump if you have a heavy flow like me. The first 3 days of my period are super heavy and oh, should I go and get it? I'll go get it actually, one sec. Here she is. Even though it holds 12 hours of blood, and it is quite a lot, like that's quite a lot of liquid. If you do have a heavy flow, you can auto dump, which basically means when you go to the toilet, if you just bear down, a lot of the blood will come out into the bowl without you having to remove it, and then you can just stick a finger in and tuck it back up behind your pelvic bone. And that kind of sometimes happens to me naturally without me even trying to auto dump. It's a really weird and difficult thing to explain if you haven't tried it yourself, so I would just say try it and see how that goes for you. It sounds a bit gross, but it's actually very handy not having to like remove the whole thing to empty it. Instead you can just leave it up there. It's less messy and it just flows out as it naturally would when you're on the toilet without you having to do anything. Pro number 4, I feel like I'm doing good for the environment, and that is a fantastic feeling. I hate how much waste there is with pads and tampons. That's another reason I don't really want to use tampons very much. But this, even though it is pricey, in the long run it will be way more affordable and is so much better for the environment. There's way less waste and that just makes me feel great. Pro number 5, I've said I enjoy using it. Like, it feels fun. It's a really fun thing to use and to have mastered, and I feel very proud of myself, and I look forward to my period because it means I get to use this. Pro number 5, apparently you can have sex in this, which you can't do with a tampon and you can't do with a moon cup. You can have sex in this, and that is because of where it sits in the body is so high up. It's like right under your cervix, so it's not in your vaginal canal, so you can still have sex and apparently you won't feel it. Obviously the fabric of it is so soft, like I doubt a penis would be able to feel that. I haven't personally tried this yet because I've still been kind of new to this, but who's to say that in a couple of periods time give that a go. And pro number 7 is it isn't as hard to get in or out as it was with a moon cup. I think I mentioned I tried a moon cup. I could not get the fold right. I could not get it in me. It felt really big and chunky. Did not like it. And then the suction kind of part of the moon cup, having to like break the seal, otherwise you're like suctioning. It feels like you're suctioning your insides out. There's none of that with this. The fold is so simple. It's about the same size as a tampon applicator when you go to insert it. I immediately, as you saw, got it in, which wasn't possible at all after trying the moon cup. So those are my pros. I do have some cons. Con number 1, I found it really difficult to find the right placement, so it took a lot of tries. I'm very aware that this might not be the case for everyone. Some people might get it super easily on the first go. I've watched so many reviews of this before I tried it myself, and so many people got it immediately. For me, it took a little bit longer. I had to really persist, and so yeah, it is just that case of having to really teach yourself and read about it and really learn about where it sits. But once you get in the right place, it's not a problem. Con number 2, I find that my placement is very far back, and sometimes my short fingers have a hard time reaching it. So I can feel it, but being able to, like, my fingers are very short, and I guess this sits very far back for me, and so I really have to stick my fingers in to get it out, to like pinch it enough to get out, which leads on to con number 3. I found that I had to cut all my nails off when I was using this on my last period because I'd finally got to grips with where to put it, but I was having a hard time kind of fishing it out because it was so deep. So yeah, I just had to like file my nails back because I was worried about pinching my insides, and that didn't necessarily happen, but it was just something I was nervous about. And also it is a bit messy. There are so many like videos on Instagram where you can see the correct way to pull it out without making that much mess, but it is messy. I found that I kind of either grip this like little rim to start pulling it out, or I kind of go inside the top, but there's a way of like pulling it out when some of it will spill out. Like, I just haven't found the correct way to remove it without any mess yet. So with that in mind, I would want to be home when I remove it and take it out fully. I don't think I'd feel comfortable removing it in a public place just yet, but who's to say in a few more months time that will be fine for me. I would also only change it in public, probably in a stall that has a sink in it, so I could give it a rinse at the same time. But apart from that, there aren't any other cons really. A couple of tips on insertion, because I know that that was something I was really struggling with, and there are a couple of techniques that I learned that really helped. Firstly, squatting down on the floor with your legs very wide apart, as wide as they go, and aiming it back and then kind of down rather than up like you would a tampon. I found that really helped. I think I found one leg up and then pushing as far as it goes and down, so you're not like getting stuck. I think my problem at the beginning was I was getting stuck on my cervix when I had to go like under my cervix. So yeah, back and down is the really important thing, and then obviously tuck up. But I find that mine kind of tucks up naturally because it is so far back. There was a technique that worked once for me, which was inserting it and then kind of rolling it back with my finger until it like reached that far back. That only worked once for me. I wasn't able to do that properly again. Another tip, when you feel like you have it in the right place, is just to run a finger underneath, because I found that the first couple of times I was using it, this felt all scrunched up inside like that, and it wasn't fully round like that, which means it wasn't in the right place, and blood was collecting underneath it and still coming out into my period pants. Just making sure that to feel this and to make sure it feels like it's properly like not crinkled. I do still wear period pants whilst I'm using this until I feel super confident that I've got it in the right place. But yeah, my last cycle I didn't really have any leaking at all, which was such a fantastic feeling. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you'd like me to try out any more period discs. I actually purchased a different period disc, but they are only one use. So I will show you those in a weekly vlog, and I might give those a go on my next period. They are a little bit different to this, so it'll be interesting to compare them perhaps. I've done so much research on period discs, and this is the first one I've tried. There are so many more available. There's one with like a little hook, so you can like hook your finger on so it's easier to get out. There's one with a little string, not a string but just like a pulley thing, so again that's easier to get out. There's some with like a little finger hole here which make it easier to get out. I really like Nixit. I like the fact that there isn't any other bits on it, because I feel like that would make me maybe feel it more than I did, and I didn't feel this at all. Once it's in, didn't feel it at all. Oh, I should say sometimes I did feel like I had a bit of an air bubble in my vagina when I'd used this. I need to message the Nixit team on Instagram about that. I don't know if that's just me, maybe when I wasn't inserting it right, but I did feel a slight air bubble, like I needed TMI, a little fanny fart, just to like get the bubble out. Has anyone tried this and found that? I don't know. But yeah, I would 100% recommend. I'm gonna leave a link down below. If you've used it, I'd love to know more. Lots of love, guys. Mwah!